No politics, just jams. No politics, just jams. Well, things are going to get a little political here for like the next 20 minutes or so. So you're going to have to bear with me. All right, hold on. Please don't. We will be. It's going to be discussing a bill that's going to essentially ban airsoft and paintball in Canada. So, yeah. Lies? No, that's yeah. Oh yeah, that. Yep. Let me sell some of these guns here. It's more than that, dude. Well, I know it's more than that, but the biggest part of the bill that affects or piques my interest is that part of it. Especially when it comes to some of our community members who are big into that scene, our moderators as well. And it's specifically targeted to like Canadians. So if yeah, I don't usually like doing this stuff normally. I just kind of not discuss it, but I feel like this one's a little, I don't know. I feel like to go after those guys is a little unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's like there's no harm in like those types of activities, and it's a shame, you know, because like it's a good activity, and I don't know. I feel like it's a casualty, you know, for something else. So it's a shame, but anyway, we're gonna be talking about that a little bit, or the individuals that know a little bit more about that, and then we'll let them take the floor. Okay, let me see here if I can, we should be in Discord right now. Bump, bump. Yeah, it's specifically for Canadians. Let me just make sure that everyone, certainly, I'm ready when you guys are. What keybind do I use for the push to top button in Discord? I use the equals key actually. All good. All right, cool. Let's do it up. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hola.
Hello, hello.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Here we go.
Ugh. All right.
Put on a push to talk for you so you don't get the ASMR experience.
Oh man, I think the chat's gonna like the ASMR experience. You better be careful. They'll start asking you to whisper in the microphone.
21.
Well, guys, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves to the audience and talk a little bit about C-21 and how that's going to be affecting, you know, airsoft and paintball in Canada, and some of the things that some Canadians should be more informed about when it comes to this this bill.
Yeah, for sure. So on here, you guys know me as Mini Doom. I'm a moderator on Deadly's channel, and I'm also the New Brunswick player rep for Airsoft in Canada, sort of, which is a new sort of group that we've made across Canada to sort of help airsofters and in a smaller way, like the firearms community, to come together to sort of fight this bill and sort of help make airsoft regulation accessible across Canada, so you know, everyone's sort of on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and my name's Tony. I'm a staff member for Airsoft New Brunswick. So I've been working alongside leaders from across the country in the paintball and airsoft community to fight Bill C-21. So we're getting into detail about exactly what Bill C-21 is, why it's going to affect airsoft, why you should care, and what people can do about it. So as it is right now, Bill C-21 is a bill being brought in by the current government, and part of that bill includes a reading that affects mid-velocity air guns.
So essentially, that would require individuals to get like a PAL, to my understanding, to acquire those, or was it just a straight up prohibited ban?
It would fully ban import, export, use, like transfer. They just like you can't sell them, nothing. So like it would essentially make fake guns more illegal than real guns.
Yeah, it's a little outrageous.
To give you the exact reading of it, so they refer to them as mid-velocity replica firearms. So to kind of fill everyone in on that doesn't know this already, airsoft replicas currently fall into a gray market within the firearm bill. The way it's been for as long as I can remember is an airsoft replica is required to be above 366 FPS. It has to be below 500 FPS. It also has to shoot less than 5.7 joules. As long as your replica fell within those restrictions, then for up until this bill gets passed, you were fine. As long as your replica shot within that, it was completely okay. This bill will make it so that if you own a replica that looks like something that is capable of shooting above 500 FPS, regardless if that replica itself is capable of doing so, it would become illegal. You're not able to use it, transport it, sell it, anything. You can hang it on your wall. No, you can't even hang it on your wall. You can put it in a safe in your house and let it sit there.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. So obviously this needs to be changed. I think we can all agree, especially if you come down to if you're into this sort of thing, if you like either milsim or paintball in general, airsoft. Like what are you guys looking specifically to change in the bill, and like what's your overall vision with this like campaign against C-21?
Like I don't really want to get into a lot of the other stuff in the bill, but just as a general statement, a lot of other stuff not pertaining to airsoft in the bill is either kind of weird or not that helpful. And so as a community, our like top goal would just be to get the bill scrapped. But if it doesn't come to that, we'd like to be able to work with the federal government to come to some sort of regulation. Like right now, in some email replies to members of parliament, they're throwing out like orange tips, stuff like that. But that's still not really the best solution, because orange tips. Like, what if? Like, is it going to be like something where in the U.S. where you need orange tips, but you only need orange tips for transfer and sale? So in the U.S., if you buy an airsoft gun, it comes with an orange tip. You can take that off after it's sold to you, kind of thing. So, and they're kind of throwing out ideas like that. And another thing that we've sort of been pitching is a sort of upgraded system to what the UK has right now, which is called UCARA, which basically makes airsoft fields and stores sign up to this basically third-party system. It's not run by the government, it's run by a third party. And you can basically apply for a UCARA license, which allows you to buy new airsoft guns, which look like real replicas. But if you do not have a UCARA license in the UK, you can still buy airsoft guns, but they have to be like something like 40% covered in a certain bright color. And there's different ones you can choose from, like red, blue, green, stuff like that.
Right.
So you have to have your gun dual toned. But like a big flaw in the UK system is it's only for buying an airsoft gun new from a retailer. So if you have a UCARA license, you can just buy a regular airsoft gun and then just give it to your friend, and that's perfectly legal. There's like, they don't have anything against that. So the whole system in that sense is pretty flawed.
Right.
If you want it to regulate it because they look like actual guns, kind of thing.
Right. So I mean, it's good that there seems to be some level of discussion happening. I was like concerned that there was like zero considerations for your communities from the federal perspective, because that typically happens with these types of bills sometimes with like ambiguous language or whatever. So so I guess to our fellow Canadians that are watching the stream right now, what can they do to help you guys in the fight to change, or at least come to some level of understanding or agreement when it comes to this bill?
So there is, you can go, Tony, here.
Yeah, sure, man. So as I kind of mentioned before, I've been working alongside a lot of leaders in paintball and airsoft across Canada. As a result of that, we've created a group called Airsoft in Canada. You can find our website at savingairsoft.ca. If you go to that link, you actually find lots of information about how you can help us, whether you're a Canadian citizen or you're international. Support, outside of Canada is always welcome as well. Being able to go to our MPs and present information, there's a lot of information that we've gathered from international sources, that stuff we didn't think of or didn't know that we've been able to present. And this information like that is what resulted in us being able to get an MP sponsored petition in the works. So the way it works in Canada is that for a petition to actually mean anything to the government, it has to be sponsored by an MP. And once it reaches a certain amount of votes, it's then presented to the Senate in the House of Commons. So that's the only legal avenue that we have right now to actually get this in front of government leaders to say, hey, we have an issue with this, and we don't think that Bill C-21 does anything to help protect Canadian citizens.
Right. Awesome. Is there anything else that you guys want to share with my audience, predominantly Canadians, on this bill? Is there any additional information that they should be aware about?
In regards to the bill, there's nothing in particular I can think of that they should really be aware of in that sense. I really encourage everyone to reach out to their local airsoft and paintball communities in Canada and see if they can help out. Retailers are in need of support right now. This bill is affecting them because obviously people are nervous to purchase new products and stuff like that from them. So encouraging people to, still continue business as usual, keep a positive, light on this, and just go forward with the hope that this bill is going to be repealed. Airsoft New Brunswick, Nova Scotia Airsoft, Industrial Cape Breton Airsoft, Savage Airsoft. These are all maritime airsoft groups that are all working together right now, along with the other ones across Canada, to defeat this bill.
Well, as one maritimer to another, thanks for reaching out to me. And, I don't know how much of an impact I will have, but I'm sure my audience, the moment we start talking about this, the reason why I wanted to bring you guys on, I typically don't get political, but, it means a lot to our community and the types of audiences that play Tarkov, play video games, that are part of paintball, that are part of different milsim, airsoft communities around. And it's a shame to see such a good activity, something that's more than just kids and young adults and adults, just staying at home, watching television, playing video games. As much as I love video games, don't get me wrong, it seems meaningless to go after an activity that is just fun, right? And also not just fun, but can actually teach people some new skills too. Yeah, it's just a shame. So the moment that Mini Doom reached out to me, Mini Doom and his friend Brute, I'm not too sure his first name, but yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to get you guys on here and ultimately show my support for fellow Maritimers that are not super keen on where this bill is headed, right? So
awesome, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks to the chat for paying attention. If you have the time and you care about this, please take the time and sign the petition.
Yeah, you guys want to put the petition one last time in the chat for the stream, and that'd be great. And then I guess we'll see what happens. Just let us know how the process is going along. I'm sure the chat's gonna like to get some updates from time to time. I know Minnie knows how to get a hold of me whenever he needs to. And yeah, never feel afraid to come in and share the petition and talk a little bit about it in the chat. We appreciate you guys letting us know, because like honestly, I would have had no idea if it wasn't for you guys discussing this. I had no clue that this was even up for consideration.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a big part of why we want to do it, just to like raise awareness on the thing. Like, yeah, a lot of these bills, the government sort of just tries to like sneak them in. Like, you know, a big part of the bill is like some handgun regulation, and then they like sneak in some other things. And you know, a lot of it is, but even when we reach out to some MPs, they didn't even know about the bill. So,
well, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean,
we're really
I
just
don't know.
trying to raise awareness as much as we can.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for coming on. And do you guys have anything else for the chat, or are we good to sign this position and move on, move forward?
I think that's pretty much it, man. There's one question I'm just going to answer. I keep seeing pop up in chat, and that's just asking, you know, why don't the airsoft manufacturers just make a line of guns that don't look like real airsoft guns? The issue on that is we don't currently have any airsoft manufacturers of the replicas within Canada itself. All the guns are ultimately imported from other countries. So that would require these manufacturers to make a set of replicas specifically made for Canada. And honestly, the overall money is just not there for them to kind of look into that. So for us, we got to get what's available legal and kept legal.
Is there other questions that you were like? You can feel free to continue if people have questions. You can go for it. I don't want to end too soon if there's some more doubt in the air about this.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just to add on to what Tony said there, the wording of the bill right now, which is an issue of itself, is very up to interpretation. And so it does state if it looks similar or exactly like a real firearm that can shoot above 500 FPS, which is pretty much all guns except like muskets. It'll be banned. And so with that wording, it's pretty much up to whoever is confiscating your guns to decide if it looks enough like a real gun or not. So even if you have a replica Star Wars blaster or whatnot, the RCMP officer or whoever which decides to confiscate your gun can make the decision themselves on if your airsoft gun looks enough like a real gun for it to be illegal, and then just confiscate it. So that's a big part of the bill that we want to get worked on as well. It's just the wording of it.
Yeah. The other part I just want to add too is I do see a lot of people just asking, you know, are orange tips something that's a viable option for us? The reason we're not really looking to go down that route right now is we kind of lack the like jurisprudence of any past court cases and stuff like that would allow us to enact that into the law. It's not as simple as just writing orange chips make this legal. That's not quite how it works. It goes beyond that for how cops react to calls and situations. Would an orange tip being put on something result in police not showing up and not perhaps accidentally shooting someone? We've had an incident in Canada on Star Wars Day, May the 4th, I think it was last year, where a girl dressed up in a Star Wars stormtrooper cosplay outfit with a blaster was assaulted by cops because they thought she had a real gun. So it's hard, you know, right now we don't feel safe saying, yeah, an orange chip, slap an orange chip on and we feel safe. We don't have any evidence within the law to say that that's a good foot forward for us.
But would it be like an acceptable compromise, like a better than nothing scenario where ultimately it's not what you guys are seeking out, but it would be at least I guess a temporary enabler to just keep you guys going with your firearms, with your I mean not your firearms, but the airsoft rifles.
Oh yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, like I mean, as it comes down to it, you know, if whatever makes airsoft be able to stay, we're going to have to accept. That's the truth of the matter. It's just that when we look at it from a legal and government standpoint, orange tips doesn't seem as simple as a thing to implement as maybe people have in their head, which is why we think that might not end up being the solution. But it is
right.
something we're open to.
Right. Yeah, ultimately I feel I mean, hopefully they'll just kind of be like, oh, like this is ridiculous. Like, you know, we didn't even think about this whenever we were writing it. Let's redact or make some sort of compensation for your communities across Canada, and go after what they're truly focusing on, right? Rather than trying to find some level of compromise within the airsoft and paintball community. But like I said, I wish you guys the best of luck, and I am looking forward to hearing more about what happens with this, and I'm hoping for some change here of some sort before it passes, if it passes.
Yeah, man, I'm really hopeful, and you know, we got a lot of great people working on it. Lots of people joining up and you know, allying with us on this, and you're part of that too. So thank you again for having us on.
No problem. I appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your day, and good luck. I will be paying attention for sure.
Yeah,
Thanks,
for
man.
sure. We'll keep you updated.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Take care, too. Have a good one. All right, guys. Thanks to Quake and Mini Doom for coming in and talking about this. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I'm not a big airsofter. I know friends who are. It just seems unnecessary. You know what I mean? That's what really kind of grinds my gears about it. It just seems like it's this is no harm, you know, like in the airsoft paintball communities. Like why go, like it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So anyway, if you're Canadian and you care about this type of stuff, definitely check out the petition. And then also, if you or know somebody that you know is involved in these communities as well, take a peek. Take a peek. Bum, 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 bum. They seem to have a good nuanced perspective, which sadly, from what I could see, I've seen a lot of people in the comment section, and I'm glad that they spoke up and answered some of the questions on some things that are not as simple. Like it's complicated. I mean, it's not as easy as like slapping on an orange tip on something, or you know, it's never that simple. You know, there's a lot of legalities in it. There's a lot of compromise and discussion. It's yeah, these things can be difficult sometimes.